Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I do hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video, and look, X-Plane 12 is here. You can go and try this free, absolutely free, without paying a single penny or single dollar for yourself. Or you can go and buy the early access version for $60. In this video, I'm going to give you my first impressions of X-Plane 12. How does it run on my 3060 RTX laptop? And my overall first impressions of X-Plane 12 early access. Listen, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get into this video. Okay, so when you first run the demo version of X-Plane 12, you get this window, unlock X-Plane. You don't need to, just go use demo if you want to see what it's like. And understood, you get 15 minutes to fly around, which is enough to get a feel for it. Understood. So there we go. You can see I've got MSI Afterburner running in the top left. I certainly don't get over 400 frames in X-Plane. But I've put it there just for reference. My laptop specs are in the description, and also in the description is the link of where you can go and buy or try X-Plane 12. What I'll do first is go to New Flight, and apparently you can choose quite a lot of these aircraft. You can only fly around the area, so I'll just go with the default area. If you choose a different area, if I typed in there London, it will just say area unavailable. The demo sits around 21 gigabyte on your hard drive, so it's only loaded in a few, one or two different areas, or maybe just one area. But I've chose, not sure what plane it started me off on, I've chose the Cessna Skyhawk, and it lets me fly that. What I would do is go to this little tab here. You can see this little tab just up here where the mouse is, and it will take you to settings. Now these are all pretty much default. I put the texture quality for me on medium. It put this on high. I've just turned it down, the ambient occlusion there. I've just put that down to medium. I've left most of these the way they were. Anti-aliasing was there. Filtering, this was on 16 times. I've just turned it down to 4 times. In fact, I can turn that up. It doesn't seem to make much of a difference. Cloud quality, I believe, for me was on medium. I've just put it to maximum. And I've left the rest the way they were. You can run this in full screen or windowed mode. I'm going to keep it in full screen. What I would also do, absolutely recommend this, go to your joystick. As you can see, I'm just using the Xbox 360 controller. As I'm traveling around again, I don't have my yokes with me at the moment. Whatever controller you're using, go to calibrate and move your pitch. I'm using my left analog stick, pitch up and down, and it will just accept it. The roll, left analog stick, left and right, it's accepted it. And I've set my triggers to rudder. They weren't set to rudder originally, but I've set them there. I'll come on to that in a moment. I'm going to just ignore those other axes there. Ignore, go next. And it'll just say let go of your controls and just hit the next button. And don't touch anything while it's just calculating where the center of your controls are, effectively. And finish. I'm going to link in the top right my Velocity 1 settings for X-Plane. Go and follow that if you're having difficulty setting up controls in X-Plane. Whichever yoke you're using, it's a good guide. And I've left most of this as default. The yaw, which is your rudder, was actually on the right analog stick. I didn't like that, so I've changed it to the triggers. I've left the hat switch on the D-pad for now, and the other controls are pretty much left alone. I've just set up a chase view using my back button on my Xbox 360 controller. That's this button here. And I put my default view you click in the right analog stick. Go and watch that video I've linked, so that will go through controls more thoroughly for you, but set up a few controls. What I would do as well, especially if you're using a gamepad, go to controller sensitivity and move these sliders. These were all to the left, move them to the right. I put them at 70% for now, and that will do for me. It works for me for now. Move these to the right, just so it's not oversensitive. That seems to have changed a little bit. With X-Plane, if you press a button, I'm going to press the A button, it will show you exactly what you've got down. I've got my flaps set to A. I prefer my throttle set to A, but I'll keep it like that for now. I've got X as my throttle and B as throttle down. And I've got flaps and goodness knows what. And I've set up my bumper buttons. Where are they? Yeah, left bumper as pitch up. Right bumper as pitch down. So I've had to set them up independently, but go and look at that video before if you're unsure. We've done with that for now. Let's actually go for a quick fly. I think this was on clear skies or few clouds originally, or clear. I've just put it down. Let's put it to broken or marginal. Let's put it to broken to begin with, just to see what FPS we get. And let's go fly. Okay, so here we are in a Cessna 172 Skyhawk with the dials, analog dials. Very nice. Just press the B button there, that works, yeah, just to make sure the altitude is correct, above sea level. And I'm just using the D-pad to look around. As you can see, texturing of things like the grass looks quite nice. Looks a lot sharper than it does in X-Plane 11 for sure. I don't know, that's the grass texture. And the texture of the trees. Can we see those trees moving? Apparently they do. Maybe not here. In X-Plane 12. Texturing of the buildings look okay. Let's just go in the cockpit. I'm going to release the parking brake. As you can see, FPS in the top. I'm recording, keep that in mind. So I'll be getting a few FPS over that. Laptop specs are down in the description, of course. So that's not too bad. Anything above 30 is good in a flight simulator. And I've not really messed around too much with the graphics settings, just one or two little things. So just going to throttle up a little bit. You do get a lot of yaw to the torque rather to the left, so make sure that you've set up some kind of rudders, either rudder pedals. In this case I'm just using the Xbox 360 triggers. Let's go to full throttle. Got pretty much control of that now. I'm still having to use my right rudder just to keep the aircraft centered, as it would be in real life. It's very much true to life. That's the beauty of X-Plane. Does feel very, very realistic, as you'd expect an aircraft to fly. And we're up in the air. Just using my trim just to trim out a little bit, make sure we've got a positive climb, as we have. Let's just go external. Okay, I've got it on broken clouds so far. I'm not showing you the true beauty yet. I'll do that in a moment. In fact, I'll pause it. Click that little aircraft icon here. I'm going to put this. Let's put it to... Oh, large cell thunderstorms, shall we? It's going to take a while to feed that in, or load that into the sim. It's done it already. So pause it. Back in the cockpit, look at that rain effect on the windshield there. On the windows, rather. Absolutely lovely. That's something that you don't see in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've got to say, those rain effects on your front window there and your side windows. Now, has it stopped? It stopped. Well, let's try and find this thunderstorm and get back into the rain. That was a bit sudden, but never mind. Okay, so if we veer, let's just bank to our right. Now you can see the FPS. It's taken a little hit, but still, like I said, if I wasn't recording, I'd easily be over those 40. When you get the rain effects on the window shield, or on your windows rather, it can drop a little bit there. There's a bit of thunder and lightning in the distance, a bit of lightning. So let's head towards that. Texturing off the cockpit itself, it's an improvement over X-Plane 11. Remember, these are the default aircraft. Not quite as crisp and nice as Flight Simulator, but it's not far off. Well, that's the ATC. And apparently that's been vastly improved in X-Plane as well. Come on, I want some rain on my windows there. Can we get any? Well, at least you saw it before. Let's just keep heading towards it and see what happens. There's nice layering. I've got the cloud settings on maximum. There's nice layering there going ahead, and nice haze in the distance in certain areas. Scenery-wise, yes, it's not going to match up to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's a definite improvement on X-Plane 11. There's the airfield behind us. Just get back in the cockpit, just make sure we can trim out there. That's not an issue at all. It's a different flight model. There we go. We've got some rain coming in now. Let's try and get this on our front window there. Oh, there we are. There we are. Isn't that a lovely effect? You can see the frames have taken a little hit there. Listen, if you've got a 1080 desktop or above, I mean, X-Plane 11 ran fine on my 1060 desktop. Let's try and get that rain to hit the window again. It ran fine on my 1060 desktop, so if you've got a 1080 or above, you're not going to have any issues with X-Plane 12. You're going to be over 40 frames. Pretty much almost maxed out graphics. I've turned a couple of things down just to improve the frames. It looks lovely. I mean, look at the texturing there going on with the ground. Big improvement over X-Plane 11. And I'm quite enjoying it. I'll keep this video running till my time runs out effectively, or maybe I'll head back towards the runway and try and land. What direction do we need to head in? Roughly north. Roughly north. Lovely. Let's head back, shall we? So just turn the aircraft. A lot easier to do this with the Xbox 360 controller. Dangerously. Yeah. Never ideal to play these kind of flight sims with a controller, but still doable. Yeah, we'll keep it. Keep us. Bring back our throttle. And keep us in a descent profile. And see if we can spot. Is that the airfield right ahead of us? I believe it is. So that was fortunate. So I'm going to bring back my throttle. The rain effect is magnificent, I've got to say. Suddenly stops. Now, I don't know if that's because it's still early access X-Plane. I mean, let's face it, Flight Simulator can do this as well. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not going to follow proper procedures, but I am going to put in a bit of flaps there, way over flap speed. In fact, let's just come down in altitude and trim out so we can get to our proper landing speed. And yeah, we'll just land on this runway we can see directly ahead of us. I don't know. I'm very, very tempted. This is the demo version. I've not bought it yet, X-Plane 12. Very, very tempted after seeing this. And I do want to explore other areas which you can't in the demo version. I think you just get a couple of areas you can fly around in effectively. Just put another notch of flaps in. And just configure the aircraft here. There we go, we're coming down to our right speed now, correct speed. Not ideal to play with a gamepad, but it's doable for our first flight here. Oh, sideways on with this runway. Yeah, it feels very authentic, I've got to say. If you've not played other flight sims apart from Flight Simulator, I'm not even on the runway, never mind. Never mind, that'll do. If you've not played other flight sims apart from Flight Simulator, now, you can see the water effects. Let's try and stop somewhere where there's water effects here. Even on the runway itself there. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Gotta say, look, my first impressions, I'm quite very impressed with the weather effects in X-Plane 12. Clouds don't look quite as nice to me. I don't know. They're different to Flight Simulator. I'm undecided with the clouds yet. I've still got to play around with a few different weather conditions. Yeah, I think I'll be getting this one. Yeah. What can I say? My first impressions, I recommend trying it at least. And even buying it. Listen, let me know your thoughts. Have you tried X-Plane 12s? What are your first impressions? Let me know your thoughts. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And I'll be seeing you soon.